Welcome back to another 2-star beer review, where today it'll be heaven or hell. So I've got a can of Northern Monk's Heathen Club, not Heaven Club. This is a more sessionable version of their Heathen. You can find that in big cans in the supermarket. I've only got a tiny little tinny here because I've got a 4-pack. So let's get into it. Okay, so as you can see, it's a nicely designed can. I'm not sure whether it's meant to be a joke within Northern Monk or something, but I do like it. A bit of flame. Just scroll around the back. Join the club. A clubhouse for hazy pale ale for those who roll the dice. And then the same sort of blurb on every other Northern Monk can, really. Juicy, hoppy flavours. And some more things about their faith and futures. Ingredients: water, malted barley, wheat, oats, hops and yeast. There's no additional flavouring today. And today's glass of choice is a Siren 2/3 glass, even though I don't think it's going to fill the whole thing. But let's see. Let's crack it open. Quite lively as you open. I haven't even shaken it up, not even for the thumbnail. So I'm going to leave that for a second and then I'll pour it out. So I might as well give you a little bit of information, because a couple of people asked me what the difference is between IPAs, pales and sours. I did mention those last video. So we'll start off with the IPA. So an IPA is a beer that's traditionally brewed to have multiple hops in. This goes back to the voyages back in, I don't know, like the 1700s, that sort of time where Christopher Columbus was going across the 7 seas. So with the normal sort of pale ales that we have here, these are typically brewed with 1 hop, maybe 2 hops. And there's all sorts of different processes these days. You've got dry hopping, you've got aged fermentation, things like that. But the main difference between pale ale and IPA is that IPAs are typically stronger and have a bit more of a shelf life. And pale ales are pretty much sort of, I don't know, not quite dumbed down versions of IPAs, but it's almost like the base of an IPA, just without so many hops and being more of a sort of sessionable strength. And with sour beers, you've got 2 types of sour beer. So you've got modern sour beer, which is a beer style I drink quite a lot. That's typically brewed with a sour base. So kind of think of it as if you're doing a sourdough bread. So you'll have a sourdough starter and then you add the ingredients to it. So, for example, a modern sour beer would have that sour base, but they might add some fruits and any additional flavouring. And then you also have wild ales. So these ones are brewed traditionally, and they tend to be barrel aged as well. So you get quite a lot of flavour from the barrel cask, left for quite a lot longer than modern sour beers do. And they have quite a unique taste. They're not nearly as fizzy as some of these sour beers you see in the supermarkets. And I'd probably refer to them more as a cask version of a sour. But without further ado, let's get back to the pouring. Okay, now let's settle down a little bit. There's probably going to be a little bit of foam, but let's pour it out. There we go. See, the thing is, that's what happens when you're using one arm and you got one hand on the phone. Oh, bloody hell. That is really, really quite lively. I'll see how far it goes, but it was definitely because I was pouring it that way. I need to invest in, like, some sort of aid to put my phone on. Okay, so the head's died down a bit and I've poured the rest of the can in. It does fit in a 2/3 glass most of the way, so without further ado, let's get this down my throat. Very tasty, very juicy, very tropically. This is the perfect beer for after you've been on a night out and you need a bit of hair of the dog. It's got everything you need. It's not overly sweet. It's not bitter. It's just what you need. I wouldn't endorse anyone drinking this first thing in the morning, but if you had to, it's absolutely fucking delicious. And for a supermarket beer, part of Northern Monk's core range, I believe, this is absolutely superb. It's a lot more flavourful because you've got all the flavours from the hops. And that's something I didn't like about the beer last time. There just wasn't any hop flavour. But with this, if I take another swig, it's really subtle. It's not bursting with bitterness. It's not going to make you feel like crap. This is just something that you can just easily sip on. And for a 4.6% hazy pale, I cannot fault him for this. So, what's my verdict? I'm going to have to give it a 4 stars out of 5. Because I can easily see myself necking the rest of this. In fact, I might even neck the rest of it, who knows. But I'll probably be done off camera. Oh, it's just so delicious. So, I hope you enjoyed the video this time. If you did, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, and I'll get back to you for more supermarket beer reviews. Until then, cheers and take care of yourselves.